Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Everybody say hello. Let me know what's going on. Gonna wait for some people to get into the room before we get all this started tonight. I'm excited. We've got some new stuff, hoping to bring in some new audiences this evening and just see what we could do. See if we can get people to come around, hang out with us, become a part of the community. So I'm excited. Everybody get on in here. Robert, how's it going? Good to see you. Come on in, say hello. Let me know what you're up to. How's your week going? I know it's only Tuesday, but I don't know. It seems to have been a really long Tuesdays. Hey, Robert, thank you for saying hello. Everybody coming in, come in, say hello. Let me know what you're up to. Let's get a crowd in here. We're going to wait for about 5, maybe 10 minutes before we get some things started. This is Asylum Live Newsday Tuesday. Thanks to Ray Skolman for that name. Come on in, guys. Thank you for the likes. If you can, hit those likes. Hit that heart me up there. So we got a couple of things going on tonight. We have added some platforms. So you might see some things in different places and kind of waiting to see what happens over there. Just waiting to see if we have people join us. I'm hoping we can really grow this community and everything. Wanted to talk about a few things before we get started. Just, hey, what's up, Supreme? How are you? Good to see you. Crazy weather. We haven't had, it's been real cool, which has been really, really shocking. I don't know why it has been so cool. But anyway, just want to kind of say, reach out to everybody. Lily has different places. I'm trying to watch all the new stuff thing that's happening over there. And I don't know which way the other thing is, but you know, you kind of get the idea. Fayez, how's it going? We got a couple of viewers coming on in. Just say hello. Let me know what you're up to. We're going to try and keep this show rolling and everything. I'm going to get into the news. Like I said, this is Newsday Tuesday. So we're going to get into the news in a little bit. What's up, Mama? How you doing? MJ, good to see you. Come on in, guys. Hit those likes. Then if you get up there on the and you're on the TikTok, hit that little heart me up there. Hit the heart me, and then you can also hit that little square down there and rotate your screen so you can see us wide. We're going to be discussing some news. I'm going to be showing some graphics and things, so that really, really helps out a lot for us to just get that up and running. So everything looks to be running okay for me. I don't know about y'all. Anybody going? What are y'all drinking? Did y'all bring any food with y'all tonight? I'm like hungry. I definitely need to be eating something, but I've got my water that I'm drinking tonight. Take it a little bit easy this week. Shawnee, how are you doing? Good to see you. Everybody anywhere, say hello. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're interested. Let me know you're invested. We are going to talk about the news tonight. We've got some really interesting additive. Some of the guys here are investors. Some of what's going on in the world in this thing we love called additive manufacturing. So come on in, say hello. Don't forget while you're here, you know, we're part of the community there. We are so close to 100 users, and I'm really excited about that. We might do something at 100, but that will happen over there and unfolds. But come on in and say hello. Looks like we got about 5, 8 people hanging out around here. We got, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I want to try to get just and say hey and just let us know what they're up to. We got Designing Life stepping into the room. I think I have something I have to do. All right. Do I have to act in, say hello? I'm kind of watching multiple places tonight because we are multiple places tonight, guys. I'm excited about this. Get these likes and shares going. Brady Meets World. We're having a really good interview. And so he's actually going to be the first interview that is multi places. And so I can't mention things like that because I get shoved down to the bottom. So come on in the room, say hello, say hello, say hello, and let me know. What projects are you working on? Do you have anything interesting that you're doing? Maybe you want to just put a little sentence down about it to let us know what's going on. Or, you know, maybe you got something to drink. Have anything? Kevin, how's it going? Good to see you. Come on in. Get me a little bit of water. I've been printing out some fun stuff. I actually printed this out. This was kind of fun. I finished it a couple of days ago. I'm hoping to do a little video on it. I was a big fan, and like, you couldn't get near the airport, but we could see it with our binoculars. And so when I saw this model up on Maker World, I was like, oh, I am so printing that. I had a poster of this hanging in my room. I definitely had a poster of it hanging in my room. I think I still have that poster. There's a tube in here in one of my storage places that has that poster. Come on in, guys. We are getting close. We're going to be kicking off here a little bit. I just wanted to give everybody some time to get in since we are kind of expanding where we are. Liana, how's it going? Justice, good to see you. Come on in. Everybody say hello. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I'm kind of watching in all the places, and we got a couple of people coming in and hanging around, but nobody's saying anything yet. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know audio is sounding good everywhere. Just say, hey, give me a wave. Let me know where you're from. And just kind of, let's give some shout outs here and see if we can get some things going. This is Newsday Tuesday. Thank you, Designing Life, for sharing out the video. Thank you so much for doing that. Radder8, how are you? Good to see you. Come on in. Everybody, say hello to everybody in the room. As we get started. We're about 1 minute from getting started. I know I am rattling on, but that's what I have to do to keep y'all interested, right? Thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you. I really appreciate that. North Carolina. Nice. Finn, how's it going? Good to see you, Mr. Finn's Forge. Good to see you. I've got all my chat windows and everything up, hanging everywhere, so that's when you see me looking to the side. But we're going to jump into the news here in just a moment. Spicoli! 1v1. That's funny, Spicoli. That's funny. Yeah, she was over there hitting the Fortnite. I am no good at Fortnite. I was a big Quake guy, Quake, Unreal. I did WoW for a while, but for some reason I just can't catch on to Fortnite. I probably just need to spend more time on it. A lot more time on it. I wonder if maybe Jen would let me do an interview if we put Fortnite in her screen and let her talk over Fortnite while I was interviewing her. Do you think she would do that? Printing designs. Okay. Awesome. Oh, were you playing? That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, you don't want to play me. I'll just die over and over and over. It does. My nephews annihilate me every single time, and as they should. So, all right, guys, good to see everybody. I'm going to check one more thing. Don't forget to get up by my name, get that heart me up there, and then hit that little square over to the side, rotate that video so you can see, and everybody knows how to rotate that video. And we are going to get into the news. I'm going to try a little something different this evening. That's my news screen, guys, right there. How are y'all doing? So I wanted to just jump into some really cool things. We've got about 5 stories to go through. And the very first thing is the wind sector. There's some really cool stuff happening over there. Now, there's a growing use of 3D printing that's spreading across this particular sector. And there's some really big contracts. There's actually, by 2032, they're saying there's going to be $17 billion in the wind sector for 3D printing. And that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Second day of playing, and I held my own. That's awesome. That's good. You're doing better than me. That's awesome. That's great. So, so market players, and we always talk about stock investments and those types of things, because if we really believe, if we believe what we're doing is going to be the future, we really ought to start investing in it and getting in some of these companies. And I talk about that a lot, and y'all know some of the companies that I'm invested in. None of the companies I'm talking about tonight are ones that I'm invested in, but I always try to disclose that to y'all. But what we're starting to see is FDM, while they're using SLS and they're using powder bed fusion, those types of things, binder jetting, we're starting to see more FDM technology take hold. And the reason we're seeing a lot of that is because it can actually be done on site. So they're able to go to these wind turbines, look at it, print something to fix the problem. They can custom make whatever they need to and print it right there. And so that's really, really exciting to see those types of happening. But we're talking $17 billion by 2032. That's really impressive. And so 3D printing plays a crucial role applying to various aspects throughout wind turbine production process. In particular, additive manufacturing is used for production of components and molds, as well as prototyping new components. And then they go through, General Electric is one of the big ones that's part of this. And they've got they're able to print lighter engines for the turbines. which has helped, one, cost, and two, help them survive longer because they're really heavy and their foundations are really hard to build up where they last a long time. So if you're looking for some investments, I would probably run around in that area and kind of look and see what's going on there, because a lot of companies are starting to get a lot of just a big flush of cash in that system. We're seeing things come through the government, through the legislation, some more money starting to hit that. And so that is a really, really, really good sector for you to look at over the next couple of years. What's up, Diano? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everybody's having a great night. If you have any questions about the stuff that I'm talking about, we're going to get into some things. We're going to get into some pretty in-depth news as far as additive manufacturing, maybe some DoD stuff, maybe some just medical stuff that's coming up. And if y'all have any questions about it, I will explain it to the best of my ability. As always, the links for this will be in the Discord. If you have not joined the Discord, do so. And there is a there is a link room for the show, and I always post all of the links that I discuss in that room. So if you have not, jump in the bio, check that out. Don't do it right now, but after the show, join the Discord, and you can get all the links to everything I'm talking about. So that was the wind turbine. Anybody have any questions as far as that goes? Anybody investing in any of that? Anybody part of that wind turbine industry? I'd be interested in a show of hands if anybody. Oh, that is awesome. User 736541. That is great. That is great. I love it. Now, what type are you, when you say you've printed the parts, are you doing FDM? Are you doing binder jetting, SLS? What types of printing are we using? I'm going to jump back over to my other camera while we're discussing this. That's really neat. You know, we're always looking for guys like you or who are really FDM. Okay. And that was one of the things in the article I thought was interesting. I've already flipped to the next page. Let me go back. Where they were showing a lot of the turbine pieces being printed in FDM, which, you know, really, really, really surprised me. And that's exciting that we are actually learning skills at home that can apply to something in the industry like that. And I think as we PETG clips, braces, connectors. Okay. That is cool. That is cool. It's interesting that you use PETG versus ABS and ASA. I assume flexibility for PETG is best when it comes to clips and those types in those types of scenarios. They need a little bit of flex. Michael, how's it going? Good to see you. Awesome, Alberto. Good to see everybody. Cable management stuff mainly. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. That is really cool. Well, welcome. Thank you for sharing that. We definitely appreciate it. So I'm gonna jump over to the next news piece. This one I've been following for a while. If you know anything about rapid liquid prints, this is a technology that was developed at MIT. Right now, this company, the company Rapid Liquid Print, has raised $7 million to upscale this type of printing. Now, this printing is a support-free gel 3D printing. Now, I'll kind of give you the basic idea of the concept, and we'll read some more about it in a second. But this is your 3D print, and this is a substrate or a suspension liquid here, right? And you see the needle right here coming in, and it's basically going through the gel and laying down that resin into the gel, and then it's UV cured. And it really, really speeds up the process. You're using a liquid. The UV curing is really fast, as we know, when it comes to that type of stuff. And so this is a really, really interesting thing. To me, this is, if that substrate or that suspension liquid becomes something that we can use at home, these are some really interesting type appliance scenarios where we can build things for just about anything at home. Because when you start talking about resin or UV curable type substances, you're really, really expanding the ability of what you can do at home. So if you're looking at it, HZG Group, is leading the way as far as that goes. But we're also talking about BMW and Mass Mutual that are bringing all of this money in, this $7 million. So where is it? They have a nice, really good description here. I keep losing my place. What is rapid liquid printing? It was introduced in 2017. It allows 3D objects to be drawn within a gel suspension. The liquid material mixture is injected into the gel, which holds the material in place as it is cured, negating the need for support structures. The 3D printing process is completed in a matter of minutes, with the final parts requiring minimal post-processing. So that's pretty cool. That is a neat one. So we've got a lot of money coming into that. We know there's going to be some expansion, which means there's going to be some more research. So I think this particular company, Rapid Liquid Prints, is a company to look at and kind of see where they're going in the future, especially if you have people like BMW and Mass Mutual investing in them. You know something's going to be happening. Hey, Tooling Lee, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for the little tiny dinies. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for the likes. I always appreciate everything y'all do for the program. But we are going through, we've talked about wind turbines and just the introduction of new money into that. We've just finished talking about the rapid, why can't I say that word tonight? Every time I start to say rapid liquid prints and their money raising for the support-free gel printing. And then the next one we're going to do is this was actually one of the debates we had the other night. If you were at the debate, we talked about 3D printing in education. And I really love this story. I think, we ended up kind of after the debate talking about this balance between teaching 3D printing versus using 3D printing and being able to really teach subjects. What's up, Crystal? How are you? Good to see you. And so what has happened is at Northwestern State University in the mathematics division, there's a Dr. Nicholas Richardson. Now, he's the one that has developed this program. He started using 3D prints to teach calculus. And through their studies and through several semesters of classes, he realized that the students, they were comprehending the mathematical equations, comprehending the calculus and everything better because they were using tangible objects. And so they're starting a new course at Northwest State University. And basically, it starts with the beginnings, with an introduction to 3D printing and software. So introduction to 3D printing and software. And they're actually using OpenSCAD for the software, which I think is pretty cool. So the students will get into the realm of 3D modeling. They'll use OpenSCAD because they wanted to use it because it's program centric, which means they're going to be using and learning some C++, some C type programming to program the models that they're the concepts that they're trying to teach in calculus. So Richardson emphasizes the advantage of instant feedback and visible progress, contrasting with traditional programming courses where progress may be less apparent. Throughout the semester, students will traverse the entire prototyping process from conceptualizing to physical realization, empowering them with comprehensive understanding and practical skills. So to me, that is such a good balance of what we were talking about the other night when it came to the debate. We were talking about not just like totally talking or teaching 3D printing in a class, and just dedicating that class to 3D printing. This is actually a little bit of 3D printing, a little bit of programming to get into the calculus to be able to design. And so they're learning skills along the way as learning the concepts that they need to pick up for the class that they're taking. I think that's a great balance. What do y'all think? I mean, give me some feedback here, guys. Everybody's being awfully quiet tonight. Give me a little bit of feedback and let me know, that story. How do you feel about that story? Is that kind of what you see when we talk about 3D printing in class? or do you see something more in depth as far as 3D printing itself? What's up, Doug V2? How are you? Good to see you. Welcome in, Doug. No thoughts? No comments from the peanut gallery? Okay. Good morning, Doug. Good morning. Good morning. So that was really neat. So there is, at the university level, Northwestern State University, they're using 3D printing, or actually this next semester, we'll be starting a class. You're good, Ted. And that's how I was refreshing. So they're starting a class. It's a calculus class, but through the class, they're going to be using 3D printing to teach calculus concepts, which is really cool. I think that's a neat idea. And yeah, we're going to follow that a little bit more, kind of see how that class develops, see what's going on. And we'll definitely follow that a little bit more. So come on in, guys. Say hey, wave. Thank you for the likes. Keep those likes going. Keep sharing this out. Let's get some more people in. Gary, Greg, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We're about 30 minutes into the show. We've talked about 3 different news articles. We've looked at a couple of things for investing when it comes to a lot of money for 3D printing coming into the wind turbine industry right now. We looked at the liquid printing by a company called Rapid Liquid Prints. And then here's one of my favorite, Rocketdyne. Come on, who doesn't love a good Rocketdyne story, right? This one really, really intrigues me because of the contract they just got. And so with this contract, this is aerospace firm, is Aerojet Rocketdyne, $22 million contract with the Department of Defense. And this, talking investments again a little bit, but we're also talking about just, what's coming. So you can look at the subsidiaries. So L3 Harris Technologies, Rocketdyne is a subsidiary of L3 Harris Technologies. And they are, this is an interesting term I had never heard of before, growing additive manufacturing maturity for air-breathing hypersonics. I had never heard of air-breathing hypersonics until this article. And so there's a program called the Gamma H program that works with the Pentagon. And basically, they are trying to establish manufacturing processes for hypersonics. And now, if we all know about sonics or faster than sound type. I think I have my little. I was talking about my little SR-71 Blackbird a little bit earlier. This is based a little bit on the technology, and we might talk about the technology and go in a little bit deeper on it. But I wanted to kind of let y'all know they were. It's going to take them about 36 months, but they have successfully tested hypersonic engines, and they're called scramjets versus ramjets. Now, if you know the difference, that's cool. If you want me to explain the difference, let me know in the chat, and I can explain the difference between the ramjet and the scramjet. But basically, since this motor really didn't have a lot of moving parts, it can be 3D printed. They're actually reducing the time. They were reducing the manufacturing time by 60%, and they're reducing the weight by over 30% when they're 3D printing these. So they're able to actually really, really reduce everything. But what's really neat is, and I don't know what materials they're printing with, but the amount of heat. And this was just they say it's a picture, but I think it's probably a rendering of a rocket test. But the heat that these metals that they're printing with have to take, and the pressure buildup inside a scramjet engine is immense. It's actually, the craft is going so fast, it's jamming air into the motor, creating heat because they're using some technology to slow the air down and compress it, which raises the heat, combusts the fuel, and causes the fat to go even faster. And yeah, we're talking hypersonics. It's pretty cool. And so they're with everybody, all the military, because of just the different things that we've been funding and everything is in low supply, but these processes are actually going to be able to speed up the manufacturing so that we can get our military retooled and back where it needs to be. So any questions on that? Any thoughts, guys? Man, y'all are quiet tonight. Y'all are being really quiet. Anybody got any fun projects? Hey, what's up? Steven, how are you doing? He says Air Force loves air breathers. I can totally believe that. I can totally believe that. I think the air breathing technology is really, really fascinating to me. Um, I had never heard of it called that before. So, but yeah, so actually, I was wrong. 67% lighter is what they can do, and 66% less cost, materials, everything. So that's really amazing to me. That's really amazing to me. All right, guys, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? We're kind of at the halfway mark, talking about a couple of things. I can explain a few more of those stories if you want to, but I need some feedback from y'all. I want to hear what y'all want to talk about. Y'all have any projects going on? You have any thoughts on some of the articles that I've presented so far? Talk with me. Talk with me. Hey, Mythic, how's it going? Good to see you. Come on in. I appreciate the gifts. I appreciate the likes. We got a lot of likes happening tonight. I'm having to watch a lot of screens around here. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait for somebody to wave or say hey or do something in the peanut gallery. Designing Life. Thank you for the like. Thank you very much. Any thoughts on those? So what about the education? Let's talk about education in 3D printing. Y'all talk with me about a couple of scenarios. Are y'all seeing any 3D printing being taught in schools? Well, Designing Life, that's the hard thing to say, but I can't tell you to which place I am streaming, but it's also that place and probably that Tubi place. And all the channels are the same name. So and I will be interviewing Echo, one of our friends from Canada. I'll be interviewing her next month. She is actually teaching some 3D printing classes in her area. But we'll be having interviews with her. She's had 2 semesters of classes, so we're going to look at what's the improvement she saw between each class. What are some techniques she learned between the 2 classes where she could teach the next class better. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then she is going to be teaching so she's been teaching the 101 class and she'll be teaching the 102 class in the next semester. So that's going to be a great conversation with her, because I'm excited just to see how receptive are people who've never touched 3D printing, that are coming from just community-wise when they're stepping into it. What are their ideas? What are they thinking of? What false ideas do they have about 3D printing? What are ways that we can have discussions with them to better get people on board and help them get through the failures and all of the things that we dealt with on our own in our basements, right? We all kind of went through just the failures in mass until we found a community. And so I just want to kind of see what she's learned when it comes to that. So what do y'all think about education? Anybody else? We know that because we were talking to Sassy Cat, and Sassy Cat's actually starting a class where she is learning specific types of manufacturing, and she will end up being a liaison for educational and for manufacturing purposes to 3D printing companies. And that's a really neat way of doing it. Almost kind of like our junior colleges, community colleges in the US. We teach people skills for specific areas. That's kind of what she's about to go through, but it's specifically for 3D printing. And I think she's going to be doing more binder jetting and some of those other technologies. So that's really exciting to see those things start kicking off. Yeah, and who better to do it than Sassy Cat? I mean, come on. She's going to be awesome at it. Don't y'all know that? Don't y'all know that? All right. Nothing. Y'all are killing me tonight. Are you wanting me to sing something? Probably not. I could always sing. I'm sure I've got like Fly Me to the Moon or something ready. Where are we at on likes? Let's see where we're at on likes. If we're at a good spot, I might sing something if y'all want me to. I've honestly, I thought y'all were going to talk more about the news. With Tooling Lee here, I thought he'd really like the Rocketdyne stuff. We could go into the engines. I think they're pretty cool. Yes, So Designing Life, what do you think of the update? It really rearranged the interface, and I do like the co-host idea. I really, really do like that. I think being able to pull people in like that's going to be a lot of fun. Being able to have more than one co-host is going to be awesome. Just jumping in here to make sure I'm not missing conversations. Okay. Thank you for the likes, guys. We got 1.5K. That's awesome. That's beautiful. And I can go through more news or projects. Anybody got any projects they want to talk about? Actually, that's not going to do me any good because I'm not on anything where I could invite people in to talk about anything. Anybody have a fun 3D printing project? Anybody interested in how scramjets work? Everybody like my SR-71 Blackbird? I love that thing. That's such a childhood memory right there. You know, I've been working on it. I'm not quite ready. It's coming. It's coming. I promise it's coming. I've been working on it. I'm not there yet, but I'm almost there. So that's going to be a good one. I will let you know about a week out before I sing that one. That's going to be a fun one. We'll do the song and we will rejoice at Spicoli's at Spicoli's songwriting skills. Oh, you did? What was your commission? What commission did you work on? Guys, we're just talking about projects. If there's anybody watching anywhere and you have some projects, some 3D printing projects that you're working on, or maybe something really cool that you've seen that you're interested in learning about, let me know. Put it in the peanut gallery, put it in the discussion area. I'm always looking for interesting things to talk about in the Discord, to talk about in just all of the places that we chat and learn. I love commissions. Commissions are a lot of fun. 100 tiny Richard dinos. Okay. That's funny. That's awesome. A whole army of dinos, I guess. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Ronnie V? How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm going to check out our other places. Nobody's being chatty at the other places, and that's okay. I understand if y'all are not chatty. Being Newsday, Tuesday, Extreme 3D. Oh, end of the year school prank. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know that's funny. That is funny. that might, yeah, I can't even make a comment on that because it could be taken the wrong way every time I say it. But no, that is awesome. That is hilarious. What other projects we got going on, guys? I've been going long enough. Hey, YouTube and Twitch, talk with me. YouTube is being really, really quiet over there. We've had one person talk from YouTube. I haven't seen anybody talk from Twitch yet. We got anybody on Twitch watching over there? I addressed them and they all disappeared. You need to get rid of those. That's funny. That is funny. Hey, thank you for the likes. Thank you so much. Oh, that's nice. That's awesome. Getting some more space. That's really cool. Being able to get yourself moved into an area you can call yours. That's great. That is great. I'm slowly, I'm such a reworker. Like I get everything to a spot and then I rework it and then I rework it. I've still got a little bit that I'm doing. Okay, more products. That's awesome. That's great. I'm starting to do. Here's something. The babies needed the office. Oh, so that's why you got pushed to the garage. I gotcha. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. I'm with you now. I'm with you now. So I am gonna start doing some reviews here. And I'm gonna try. There's gonna be a couple of them that are pretty obvious. As far as the print pilot, I'm doing a review of one of his products. I've got a lantern design. I'm going to be doing some stuff for him, but then I've got a few microphones and other things. How do y'all feel? What are your suggestions when I review products or when I talk about them? Do y'all mind a short once or twice a week where I talk about a product? Most of the ones I'm reviewing right now I've purchased. I'm hoping down the road, things will get sent to me and everything. I'm just trying to expand the topic a little bit. And y'all ask so much about audio, video, and lighting. I wanted to start bringing some of that in. But is that something, if I start doing some reviews of those types of things, is that something y'all are okay? Okay, awesome. We got one, don't mind. I'm still reading Ronnie's, Ronnie V's. I gave it up. I can't tell if he's sad or if he's just happy to get out of the house where the noise is. There's always a plus, and the air conditioning will dampen the noise, right? But I do have a small microphone I'm reviewing later tonight. I'm putting out just a quick shout out on the print pilot, which I know I've showed you all this before. Okay, awesome. That's awesome. I will definitely do some more of that. I do have a small TikTok version microphone that I purchased. I'm going to use a couple of different pieces of software to show what this one could do. I love the hanging out too. I do too. And I'm kind of split between this idea of Tuesdays are a really good hangout night, and so I can't decide if I want to stay on TikTok and not worry about the other places on Tuesdays. And then for Thursday interviews and roundtables and those types of things, Thursday goes everywhere. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And so what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that's something that is kind of a viable idea where Tuesdays is just TikTok and then Thursdays is everywhere? Because Thursdays is really it's an interview. There's not so much kind of chatting and interacting like we're doing right now. You know what I mean? And if I stay on TikTok, I can actually invite people in the room. Whereas if I'm on all the other platforms, it's hard for me to invite TikTok people in because I'm going through like Streamlabs and the stream key, and it makes it really, really difficult to make things happen. Now, there are ways to invite people in. I could get somebody in right now if they wanted to come in, but I've really tried to set it up to be very, very, very flexible. And speaking of just setting things up, June 20th, I will be teaching a OBS class. So be on the lookout for that. There will be an OBS class. The announcement will be coming up in the next week or so. And we're going to go through just kind of some basic setups and configuration of OBS. I'm going to show you I'm going to start from the bottom and build my OBS set up because y'all know I always overkill everything. But I just want to kind of give you some tips and tricks and just as you guys get to the point where you're using TikTok Live Studio, while TikTok Live Studio is a nice piece of software, I still suggest using OBS with the virtual camera to do everything. TikTok Live Studio is just not good at mixing scenes right now. It just isn't. Can I compare the SM7B and the XM8500? Yeah, sure. Let me write that down. Oh. On my handy dandy notebook. I love this thing. Yeah, I could talk about that. think I've got the XM 8500. Let's see. I think I have it. Yeah. So there's my XM 8500, and I'll be doing more with this microphone. I got this for a specific thing, and so I'm actually going to be doing a video on all of these. So the Sennheiser. This is the Sennheiser 835. Got the XM 8500. Got the standard, like, can beat somebody with the SM58, and then this is the blue, the 100, the Encore 100. I'm gonna be talking about all of these mics as well. The SM7B is that's funny. You want to dispose of it for me? Of course, of course. I will tell you, these two mics are very, very close together. For streaming and stuff where you're not using, like, where everything's compressed and you're not using just crazy high quality sound, something like the XM8500 is good. I'm actually building some skins for these. They're almost out. I'm almost done. Or you can actually disguise them as other mics. And this mic, the SM58 and the SM7B are the exact same mic, except this has an extra chip in it. That's all. They're the exact same diaphragm, everything. There's one more chip in the SM85 or 58, sorry. So, yes, that's the one. That's exactly what I'm doing, Spicoli. I've got a little bit better design. I'm almost done with it. So this is my last version, and that I've actually gotten some things that are screwing in. I've seen another guy do something similar, but I've actually got it going together and holding stuff, and you can actually brace it like a standard SM7B. And so I'm building the bracing and everything right now. But there's going to be a version of this for the XM8500, for the SM7B, and for the for that blue, the 100. So, and I'll do some reviews on these and talk about them. Yeah, the 8500 is definitely, I mean, the 8500 was $35. So, and it's, it's pretty good. The shell here is not as durable. Definitely not. But it is, for all intents and purposes, definitely a cheaper version. I agree 100%. And they did, as much as I hate giving Behringer props, they did a pretty good job on it. It's like it's like I tell everybody, Behringer is just a couple of letter swaps from Harbinger. Nah, he's giving me ideas. Behringer does cheap well, especially since they bought a company and now they use all their parts in their stuff, of course. I cried that day. Poor Midas. Poor Midas. But yeah, so I plan on doing that. I was actually talking to a guy where I do a lot of my work, and there's a ton of different mics there. There's some Neumanns. They've got some really cheap stuff. They use mics. It's a studio environment, so they use a lot of different types of mics to get just the sounds that they're trying to achieve depending on the song. And so I'm going to actually, it's probably going to be August before I do it, but we're actually type of thing. So that's going to be an exciting one, just because the guy's name is Eric. He's an amazing studio guy, has a lot of Nashville experience. He's here in my local area. And so it's just easy for me to drive about an hour to go see him and do it from his studio. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. I had no mic today. We always do. We always do. It's kind of like people who work their jobs outside the home, like a contractor. his house is never finished, right? He's too busy finishing other people's homes. So Spicoli's too busy doing audio for other people. He's not worried about his own mic. But I've got a couple other mics on the way that people are letting me borrow that I'm going to be talking about. I do want to look at some of these $13, $15 mics. I'm trying to get a bunch of those, get my hands on a lot of those, because there always seems to be an issue with the volume. And so trying to see different types of software for different devices, different phones, to see about controlling the volume of those rather than just taking them as they are. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I do. I got some awesome gifts tonight. I appreciate that. I'm still learning all the new interfaces. So many different interfaces to learn right now. 6.2K likes. What else we got, guys? Yes, exactly, Ronnie V. I've limited myself to 3 websites right now. And so I try to work on mine a lot. I have Filament Stories, and then I have a sister-in-law who is a nurse or a nurse practitioner and has a clinic, and I work on their website. And I've relegated myself to those right now till everything is set and everybody's trained and my website's good. I'm not going to pick up another website until mine is happy. But it always happens. Always, always happens. Magic Hood. How's it going? Good to see you. All right, guys. Any other thoughts? Any other questions? Talk to me about the news. Is that the kind of news you want? Because I definitely want to keep expanding. I'm going to ask this periodically every other month or so, just kind of make sure that we're going the way. I want to just show y'all things that are happening in local. Like the next Newsday Tuesday will be all just kind of what we do within the makerspace versus the additive manufacturing side. The wind part was cool. Okay, good. I think the stuff that, and it's hard for me to get into some of the discussions. I don't know too much of what y'all are interested in, but when it comes to stuff like the Rocketdyne, it's really more about they are able to print materials that are so freaking superheated. Like, you hear the word Inconel. If you've been around me or you've been around Tooling Lee some, you've heard, "What's up, resin 3D printing god?" Inconel is an interesting thing, and it's a material that hasn't reached us yet, but it's getting closer. As SLS, as some of these, we talked about that rapid liquid, support-free prototyping stuff gets closer and closer to us. These materials become easier for us to access and print, and we're not going to be doing the same. Sorry, back to that Rocketdyne slide. We won't be doing the same type of printing in 5 to 8 years. If we're still doing the same type of printing we're doing now, things have stalled. We're going to have some much greater technologies in our homes. And FDM printing, to me, and my brain, will be so applianced. We'll have it and we'll use it. But as people like us who love this stuff and really investigate and really build and bring new technologies into our home, we're going to have moved on from MSLA and FDM, I think, within 5 to 8 years. What do you think, Resin Akuma? What do you think? Is that wrong? Resin to me is like, if resin could figure out really, really good color processing, I think these gel substrates, I think these gel suspensions and everything give resin new life. Like that is crazy stuff to me. When we were talking about the, let's see, that technology right there, that's the one to me that breathes new life into resin. So that one's really, really, really cool. And so that's why I like talking about that news. And yeah, I like to invest in some of these companies. Um, yeah, I hope not. It's got to be here pretty soon. It really, really does. And I'm really interested in seeing, how we see so many different pursuits of different technologies in the like AMS systems or different filament changing systems, or resin resin coloring systems for FDM. I really think we've got to be coming to the point of seeing a bunch of different things, just a lot of spaghetti being thrown up to the wall to see how it works in the home environment. Yeah, yeah. We're talking consumer. Yes, totally understand Polyjet. Right there with you. Right there with you. And if I could own a J35 or, any of those other machines, I would, but I can't afford a 90 to $100,000 machine, nor do I have the room to put it in. I don't even have space for a Mega, you know. But yeah, Polyjet is cool, and then you have other people like Mamaki, and the way that they're pursuing color is different than the way that Polyjet is pursuing color. And so I think we're going to see another 2 or 3 come out over the next couple of years when it comes to resin. And probably see a big buildup of flexi resin, I think. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel like flexi resin is really going to have to make a big jump or something. I don't know. Akuma knows more about this stuff than I do. These are musings in my head. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. And then we've had you have all these her. Oh, okay. Awesome. That's good. And then you've got the SLS, that really like sub $5,000 SLS machine that just came out, or is supposed to come out. Did it come out? I think it was just announced, wasn't it? So, I mean, we're not too far off. I could see on the powder bed side dropping colors and dropping different things. Okay, awesome. I know they have flexi resin, but like you don't see a lot of people at the consumer, even at the prosumer level, you don't see a ton of use of it yet. And right now you are seeing such a growth in TPU and flexis in the FDM side of things. Resin can't be too far behind. Believe me, Akuma would do nothing of the sort. Of course, Akuma is close enough to Canada where he could get out of the country really quick if he did something like that. I know nothing. Yep. Play a little Schultz there. That's funny. But so that was kind of why I looked at that news. The wind, like y'all talked about, that was really cool. And then I just thought it was great that the debate the other night we talked about 3D printing in education, and this article came up, and they're actually doing that calculus class using 3D printing and the software that they're using. OpenSCAD. That's awesome. So they're teaching OpenSCAD. They're teaching C++, C. They're teaching 3D printing, and they're using all of that to teach calculus. That's cool. That's great. That's a really, really good combination of the things that we talked about. Just a little bird. No names. I'm still waiting for him to come out. I'm still waiting for Bamboo to come out with something to compete against the Giga. I mean, come on. I don't know that they would. Of course, everybody else is going bigger, while For the last 2 weeks, all I see is Akuma printing on that little tiny machine. I love that little thing. It's cute. So cute. It is a cool little machine. It seems to do really, really well. I assume they just took some of the older screens that were lower resolutions and, like people are saying 12K, they're really taking some different resolution screens and compressing them and that kind of stuff. I assume that's kind of what they're doing with the Tiny Maker to get good resolution like it is. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I saw, I think about the Alkyd. Well, who was doing the Alkyd? Who's doing the Alkyd printer? Sub $100 resin printers. That just left my brain. I had it in my brain. Yeah, no mono screen. Yeah. Well, they got to use that old technology somewhere. Yeah, G-Tech. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They don't look too bad. PJ2LP, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Lantern Lore, how's it going? Good to see you. Well, good evening, good evening. Good to see everybody. I may have to start shifting my show a little bit. Everybody starts coming in after 8:30 now. What's up with that? Y'all eating supper? Y'all are skipping the first half hour of the show and eating supper or something? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's going well, going really well. I think I've caught up on all the stuff that I need to do and eating ramen and watching me. Awesome. Hey, I'm not going to complain about ramen. I love some good ramen. I gotcha. I gotcha. I figured that's what it was. I figured everybody has. I know there's life responsibilities, kids. I haven't seen Ray Skullman tonight. That usually means he's putting the kids to bed too. Thank you guys. Thank y'all so much for the likes and everything. 6.4K. 6.4K. That's beautiful. I did get some new so for everybody who hasn't seen, I got an A1, another A1. I got my new, hot ends and everything today, and I'm back on the bamboo train. Had a little project that came up that I needed it, and so I got one of the newer ones. Been having a little bit of fun with it. I started printing some fidgets and little clock parts and different things for a project I'm working on, and then I've got a multicolor face and just a little bit of a consignment piece I'm working on. Still waiting for your bed replacement. Yeah, I know. They put out the new machines. They sell all the new machines, and the bed replacement's not come to you yet, right? It'll get there. It'll get there eventually. So, seeing what else y'all are talking about. We did okay. So for a first night, Thursday night, I think will be better. We do have, like I said, we have the interview with Brady Meets World. And for everybody who's new in the room right now, I've actually expanded right now. We are on TikTok, we are on Twitch, and we are on YouTube. And we had about 3 or 4 people in the Twitch and YouTube area for a bit, which is good. It's a first attempt. We're going to keep pushing it out, trying to expand the community. So what I think I'm going to do is on Tuesday nights, we're going to keep it on TikTok. And then on Thursday nights, for the interviews, roundtables, and those types of things, we're going to expand it everywhere that we can. And I've just gotten to the point where, and right now I'm testing it on YouTube and Twitch, and I'm going to check this afterwards to see how everything looks. And then we're going to have X, we're going to have Facebook, we're going to have, what was the other one? I can't remember. There's like 2 other services I'm going to jump on, and we're going to get stuff going. Your Forest Skull is doing well. The video has been completed now, and it is going to be talked about soon. I promise. I've caught up on everything. If you notice, I've only been posting about my lives lately. And so I'm going to start posting things in the next couple of days. But it is coming. It is coming. It is always right here with me. I had it like 5 minutes ago. There it is. Skull. See, I still have it. I did finish shooting everything, so. All the socials. Yes, that's the one. All the socials. And I've got some new materials that, oh, I know you are. It's all good. No problems, man. I know I owe it to you. I do. And it will happen. I've got some different materials I've been working with. I just went through some big experiments with stuff called Cerakote, which I know y'all have heard me talk about a little bit. This is a pretty cool product. It's actually a ceramic paint that air cures. I know some of you guys have worked with it before. So I'm going to be talking about some of that. Right now, I'm just trying to finish out all the cookie CAD. That's my last project that's just got to get gone, got to get finished. So much to do. Yes, I have heard that. I have heard that. I won't be discussing that part too much, but I'm going to be talking about weatherproofing and just kind of the properties, because I have gone through a lot of experimentation with it. Okay, awesome. The Matter Hacker PLA, I've had success with it. I've purchased it a couple of times. It's really kind of gotten to the point where there are just a few companies I would say like have amazing PLA, and the others are pretty much all the same. But that's just me. That's just me. So, well, guys, I'm gonna call it a night if that's cool with y'all. Don't forget the interview coming up with Brady Meets World. That's gonna be a fun interview. You know, if you've watched Brady, there's been a lot of changes on his channel lately, and we're gonna go through and talk about the changes, why he went the direction he did, what's he thinking, what's his processes, how's he combining all of this together, as well as he's talking about a lot of products, which is really, really cool. So that's going to be a great interview. That one's probably going to go long because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Him and Binsky have a podcast coming up, all these different things. So, Thursday night, 8 p.m., same time, here and all the places. I'll be everywhere on Thursday, so you can catch me anywhere and everywhere. So thank you guys. Thank you for this evening. Thank you for the news. Thank you for just sharing with me your thoughts about the stuff that's going on the channel, as far as what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to see in the future. I appreciate all of that, the likes, the gifts. Now, also remember to live life to the fullest, grow in wisdom, and show what you have learned generously. See you later, guys.